Hi everyone, Zoe Cavotta here. So just a refresher on my project for this class. My culminating activity is that students will be creating a Google Sites page within our Google site, our class Google Sites, that will have research that they've done on a real-world event that has occurred due to incorrect unit conversions, and this will be in our math and measurement unit. And they'll work together in groups to create that page, and then what I'll do is they will present them to the class, and then I will also take the link and to our class sites page, and I will send it out to my other regions classes as well as the other science classes, math classes, and engineering classes. So how I'm kind of creating this for all venues and in my hybrid learning. First, I'm making those real world connections to get students' interest. So I start off with, I used to in the past always do the crash of Flight 143, and it was an accident that took place because they incorrectly did the math for how much fuel they needed and ended up running out of fuel and crashing. And I used to just do this. The kids would read the article and then they would answer questions as they read the article, and they didn't really get much out of it. So I decided to come up with this project instead to make those real world connections. So in my first lesson, they will do some research on their own on some different events that have happened, and then at the very end we'll kind of circle back and they'll do even more research, picking another event and doing the research in a group, and kind of like furthering that from what they do in the first lesson. So I like the real world connection because it kind of brings in their interests, and they have the option to pick from many different events that have happened. I'll give them the link to some options on a Padlet board that I'll create, so they get the choice and what they want to study. Then I will have them kind of with the hybrid learning situation. They'll work together in Google Meets and breakout rooms. So I have an example. I can't really, without a class, show you an example of like the names in breakout rooms, but depending on how many students you have, you can create these breakout rooms on Google Meets. So with my hybrid learning students, the students that are at home on the given day that we do this in class can work with the students in class in these breakout rooms. So that's a great way to incorporate that, so I can have my class kind of connected so that it's not just the kids in class working together and the kids at home working together. I still want to have that like class environment where they're all together, even though we have some people at home and some people in class. They'll work together with their partners on either Google Documents or Google Slides to kind of keep their research together. Typically, they would have, worked together in person, just typing up or doing it on a poster board. But now, since I have students in different places, I like how Google Documents or Google Slides, they can collaborate and like in real time change things, even if the other student's not directly in the room. So Google Suites, those resources are a really good way to have students get to work together when they're not physically together. And then I'll also have Padlet boards. So I'm going to have one where it has links to the articles and events that they can choose from, one with resources for them to get started on, and then another one that they'll be adding to as they progress in their research. So I have this shelf view here. So each group will be given its own shelf, and they'll have to kind of update their classmates and other groups on their progress. And then I'm also going to advise students in every group to go back to the Padlet board as the class period goes on to see other groups' progress. So this is another way, instead of using something like Twitter to have students kind of update each other on their progress, this is a more educational use of a resource. So it'll be good for the students to kind of see, oh, we're here and this other group's here, maybe we should kind of work a little faster, or kind of, slow down, or, oh, this is a good idea. So I like the Padlet boards, and they can, add to this whenever, so it doesn't even need to be when they're in class. They can be adding to it outside of class as well. So another way to incorporate that collaboration between students who are physically in the classroom as well as students who are at home. And then, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to share once they're done with their page. They're going to be doing this on like our individual classes Google Sites page. So I will share this with my other regions classes. So each class will get to see the other classes' work. Then I'm also going to give it to the other science classes, engineering classes, and math classes, because this incorporates unit conversion. And although we might be using units that you specifically use in chemistry, I know in earth science they do unit conversions with wavelengths. Math obviously does conversions and dimensional analysis, engineering as well. So I think this will be a great thing to have my students do, knowing that they get to share this with other classes and other students in the school. So kind of creating some more motivation to make their Google Sites page look really nice to be able to share with the other classes.